this morning. Something rather special is happening today. In
Okay.
fact, we will be going live to Safari Valley Eco Park for the first ever initiative between Joy
Eco Park,
and Safari Valley. Is the Eco Park initiative,
Yeah.
and this is our bid to fight Galamsey.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we are setting right the minds of the coming generations.
Catch them young.
Exactly. I mean, the obvious reason why people would even engage in Galamsey is because they don't understand the value of the environment. They don't. If they
true.
did, they would understand it is more valuable than any amount of
to
money they could
preserve
get
it now, yeah.
from destroying it. So this is what we want to teach the next generation. So we have a critical mass of Ghanaians who understand the value of what we are surrounded by and can preserve it. So today, I think we have about 100 kids going to Safari Valley Eco Park for their first Eco Park initiative. So they are going to be taught all kinds of special things about the environment. They're going to encounter different species of animals and understand how these animals depend on the environment just like we do. They will encounter all kinds of plants. They will be taught the most fascinating things about the natural world around us. And this is all something that is sponsored, of course, pushed by well-meaning Ghanaians who all are interested in ending Galamsey. So today we will hear from the companies that sponsored these kids. We'll hear from the kids. We'll hear from Safari Valley themselves. And this is all being put together, of course, in collaboration with Joy. So our colleagues will be there and we will go live to them, to experience it for ourselves. So today, if you've never been to Safari Valley before, I'm taking you there today.
And is it a day's visit or they'll sleep there?
Oh, nah. Why do you need to sleep there in order to experience?
It's all part
the
of the.
If you were sponsoring them, I know you would have added that. But we know that all sponsorship includes sleeping. All right, so listen, stay tuned. That at some point during the show, we're gonna go live to Safari Valley. You don't want to miss it. But papers.
Let's do the papers. Daily Graphic has a lead story. President receives France's highest award, and they say the France has bestowed its highest national honor of merit on President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. The National Order of Legend is conferred on the president at the ceremony of the French presidency in Paris yesterday. That is the lead story. There also another story there says the 4 MP seat ruling Supreme Court gives reasons for decision, and Development Bank Ghana profitable and well managed according to management. And also on the Daily Guide it has stories about the Ghanaian and 2 Chinese Galamseyers that in court open defense in court. EC begins ballot papers distribution, and President or former President John Adjei Kufuor says Bawumia best man to lead Ghana, so says the former President John Adjei Kufuor. And another story in the Daily Guide front page says the French President honors Nana Akufo-Addo and 4 MP seat saga, why the Supreme Court overturned the Speaker's ruling. If you go through, very interesting ruling, and for me, a very interesting thing. I mean, so our learned person that is just skipped his name, the Speaker's lawyer.
He couldn't. Sorry.
He couldn't make it to court to make his argument, but now that the ruling is out, he's on Facebook.
Well, I mean,
and now saying that the ruling doesn't actually direct the Supreme, direct this. I think that everybody is tired of what is going on. And what's the normal practice, could you? I mean, that when there's a ruling by the Supreme Court, they're supposed to give directives. We all thought that he should have been in court to make his case and even challenge the ruling if it's possible.
I don't think he's challenging.
I'm saying that he's now trying to give an interpretation or saying that.
Well, it's not an interpretation. What he's saying is that where is the order?
So there should be an order before.
But if there is no order, then what does anybody do?
I find his
argument. That's his argument.
I find his argument very, very interesting. And for me, I thought he had an opportunity to be in court.
Well, he clearly
make
didn't
a case.
He clearly didn't think there was a need for that. But what he's saying now is that the verdict is out, but he's expecting an order for people to follow. Those who are affected, what they call a consequential order, right? As a consequence of this verdict, what are the orders given? If there are no orders, then is anybody supposed to do anything? Or has the Supreme Court simply given an interpretation of the Constitution and left it at that? Left it for others to decide what to do with the interpretation, right? That is the question raised by Thaddeus Sori's,
I feel
argument.
that all of us who are monitoring development in Parliament want an end to this, and we hope that this doesn't mean that the Speaker is not now bound by whatever that has happened in the Supreme Court. At least we want an end to this. Let's move on. It's very, very important, Kojo.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what else have you got in the papers, or have you taken us through them all?
Nothing much in terms of what to expect on a Friday. Quite a calm one. And EC begins ballot papers distribution. We are getting very close to the elections, and we were told yesterday they are being taken to certain secured centers at the regional level when it comes to the parliamentary ballot papers. And very, very soon we all go to the polls and decide who becomes the next president of Ghana. And there are some who are praying that as we approach Christmas, let this be a one-touch victory for whichever political party that might win the elections, and we are all praying not for a second round, Kojo.
Political party or independent candidate, right?
Oh, okay.
Because there are some of those on the ballot paper as well. So
it'll be interesting for us to see whether it will ever happen in this country that an independent candidate might emerge as the president, and how that person will form a government and all those things.
There are aspects of the Constitution that might be brought back into question if we ever have an independent candidate winning, because I don't think I don't think they really considered that outcome all the way through, because an independent candidate still has to form his cabinet with more than half of its members from Parliament.
From Parliament,
But if you're an independent, you may not have. You won't have any candidates in Parliament because you don't have a party. Right? Even if there are independent candidates in Parliament, they are not yours. So you are being robbed of the laxity of deciding who you want to work with. You must still come back to whichever political parties are prominent in Parliament to form your government. I don't know the value of that or the benefit of that to an independent presidency, So it'll be interesting, to see if that happens one day.
It's good to test the Constitution, to go to the Supreme Court for them to clarify for us whether that person can bring, and when they finish, there should be a consequential order that this is what they mean. Like they're ruling, so don't leave anything up again for people to spin on it and say all sorts of things.
Now, did you say that the president has been given the highest award in France?
Yeah, and that's what Delegate Graphics, Delegate the Tunis.
What's the award? What is it?
So it's the National Order of Legion that was conferred on the president at the ceremony of the French presidency in Paris. The president, Emmanuel Macron, personally decorated President Akufo-Addo with the Grand Officer of the Legion of Honor. That is a medal at the ceremony. The Order of the Legion, or that's the highest honor. Merit given by France to individuals who have provided exceptional services to France or defended the cause and ideas that France supports, such as democracy, human rights, press freedom, and humanitarian services.
Right. So read the purpose of it again. In fact, if you don't mind sharing that with me, I found that interesting. So it's the highest award given by France to individuals who have provided exceptional services to France or defended causes and ideals that France supports. So has the president provided some exceptional services to France?
Well, maybe something that the France government supports, and that's why you're talking about democracy, human rights, press freedom.
So the president has won an award in France, possibly for democracy, human rights, press freedom, and humanitarian services.
You're right. Exactement.
All right. Well, it's nice that the people of France, are impressed by the president's efforts in that direction.